Regular meeting of the EdCal Chelsea Independent School Board of Trustees to order. Today is Monday, October 27th, 2025, and we are meeting in the Administration Building Boardroom at 920 West Santa Rosa Avenue in EdCouch, Texas. As we begin, I would like to remind everyone that this meeting is being conducted in accordance to the Texas Open Meetings Act. Roll call.
Norma Lincoln,
Present.
Fernando Torres Jr., Ashley Yvette Vasquez,
Here.
Juan Jose Ibarra,
Here.
Dr. Ricardo A. Ochoa,
Here.
Cynthia Caluma,
Here.
Rolando Lozada.
Here. With a quorum established, we will now begin with the pledge, followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's bow our heads. Our Heavenly Father, be with us this evening as we carry out the deliberations that are important to the district's operations. Be our strength and our guide by giving us patience and understanding so that the issues may be resolved justly and fairly for all. We ask in thy holy name, amen. Amen. Before we get going, I'd like for us to keep the people in Jamaica in your thoughts tonight. I know they get hit tomorrow, so it's a devastating storm, Cat 5. Open forum. Any questions? Anybody sign up? Recognitions. A, recognition of the elementary secondary campus with the highest student attendance percentage rate for the first 6 weeks. B, recognition of campus classrooms with the highest student attendance percentage rate for the first 6 weeks. And C, recognition of the EdCouch and ELSA volunteer fire departments. Picture time, Cindy.
So hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different this year. Not only are we recognizing the elementary campus with the highest attendance rate for the first 6 weeks, we're also going to be recognizing the campus classrooms with the highest attendance for the first 6 weeks. So we're going to first start with our elementary campus. The elementary campus with the highest attendance rate is LBJ Elementary.
We're heading on this side?
Depends on how, what do you mean by heavy?
Alright, right here. Ready? 1, 2, come on. Yeah.
Congratulations.
For our secondary campuses, the first 6 weeks attendance winner is Dewan Middle School. With a 90.
Ready? 1, 2, come on. 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
The kids did not come because there's no school today, but just so you know, we did give some incentives to the kids. They got some trophies, they got some treats, and we're very, very proud of them. So the first one is Mrs. Aray Garza, and this is from Santiago Garcia Elementary, and those are the kids. They had 98% attendance.
Oh, everybody go to that.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. You got it. Thank you so much.
I didn't know that.
Our next campus is RCR STEM Academy, and it is Ms. Science. Our next class is LBJ Elementary.
We're getting.
All right, right here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Our next class is JRG Ms. Silva with 98%.
Right here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Our next class is CFT Ms. Garcia with 98%.
It's possible. Thank you. I'm telling you, you can do that.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mrs. Rubio at 98%.
All right, right here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on. Got it.
So one thing that I do want to add that the teachers are not aware is that they're going to be introduced to a raffle for some pretty good gifts like a weekend at the island. Pretty nice giveaways, so keep up the good work. Thank you all so much. And for the parents, if you're watching, thank you so much for ensuring that your kids are in school every single day. Thank you very much. At this time, we
We
would like to...
can report we do about 2.
Our fire departments, both EdCal and ELSA, have always been incredibly supportive of our district. I still remember my days with the little red, cap that you used to get, and so it was a great joy to see some of the kids doing the very same thing that was done, I won't say how many years ago, but a long time ago when I was doing this thing. So we'd like to recognize our fire department. We'd like to start with our EdCal fire department, please.
No, the partnership with the EdCal I think is always amazing. I know that we participate with our office, full traffic control, providing and everything. And it's an honor because I'm also another like from EdCal. So I love being here, I love EdCal, I love EdCal. So thank you so much for appreciating us volunteers that don't get paid to do what we do. Thank you. Where?
No, you're.
Oh, here.
Can we get the, go up or one? Right here. Ready? 1, 2.
Now we can do that. Ready, guys? 1, 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
ELSA fire department, please, Elsa.
Archie.
Archie.
Thank you so much. I know I don't say it enough. Thank you. Get you in the middle.
Go ahead, Chief. We always appreciate the invite out to the schools. It's the time when we get to interact with the kids and give them some information, some safety tips. And we look forward to every year, especially during the career, where we got to recruit some more volunteers to the team or more firefighters. Thank you guys for letting us.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda are presentations. A, South Texas College. Dr. Solis and Mr. Danny Guzman.
Stand over here. Okay.
Wherever you'd like.
I'm afraid of mics.
There you go.
Anyway, good evening, buenas noches, Chairperson and President Trustee. We're here to give you an update. My name is Danny Guzman. I'm a trustee with South Texas College. I represent the whole area. There's all the time we have representation here from those areas at board. So I'm here gladly to give you guys an update on discussions we've been having as far as bringing in STC to the health area. We understand we had several discussions with the chairperson about your sixth grade campus that got shut down for whatever reason. I'm sure there were good reasons. But we've been talking and having meetings with Mr. Ibarra. So we're giving an update. Most of you know that SEC tried to come in and there was a lot of discussion. We went to the Capitol, had some hearings up there with the legislature, and everything got shut down by previous administration at SEC. So we have a more proactive administration going on. Dr. Solis here, the president running SEC. So I'm here to I'm not bringing my here so we can give you guys a more detailed what's
Thank you. Good evening. I'm not afraid of the microphone. You're gonna shut it down. But, all right, I think. Anyway, although over here I feel like me tienen castigado acá. Anyway, it is great to be here. Esteemed Board of Trustees, Rebecca, Elsa, thank you for allowing us to be here. As Mr. Guzman mentioned, this is a long overdue project, a partnership that was attempted several years ago, and I think, of course, now things have changed. There's growth, and we've seen a lot of development and opportunities, and especially the changes in higher education. But most importantly, what I do best, what we do best as STC, is not only creating education, but we create opportunities, workforce opportunities. And we've seen a huge change in the past just 3-4 years now, how workforce, the demand, the interest of students, it's all about short-term certificates, it's 2-year degrees. This is where it's at, this is where it's going, especially now with AI taking place. We're going to see a lot of opportunities. And there's no better place than here in this part of the Delta area where we see that there's a big need. And I'm here because we've had several meetings. Again, thank you to Trustee Guzman, but especially also the board, of course, Mr. Ibarra, JJ has been tremendous. He's been pushing us, and of course Orlando Son has also been, and all of you. I've had several discussions with the board in the past few months, and now we've had a couple visits at the elementary school, Ibarra Elementary. Thanks to the ladies over there for giving us tours twice. I know, and especially on Friday, an impromptu tour. Very impressive facility that you have there, by the way. And we see that it's primed to do many things, and that facility has many opportunities we're looking forward to. I have with me 3 of our deans, well, one of our vice president, 2 of our deans here that are going to give a quick overview. First, I'm going to have a quick overview with our associate vice president, Dr. Rebecca De Leon, on the basically update on the dual credit program that we have here with you. And then after that, then I'll go back to the other 2 deans and really focus on the program opportunities that we want to talk about here. And we'll go into that discussion. But most importantly, to discuss about what we're trying to do, that is to attain a partnership that we want to go in with Elsa and do some programs that are of real value to the citizens of this entire region. Short-term programs that the citizens can be able to benefit, especially in the demand of today's higher education, and most importantly, the demand of the workforce. So we're going to start out here with Dr. Rebecca De Leon. Thank you.
Is there any way to move the podium?
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share some information with you all on dual credit.
Doc, would you like for us to move that podium forward? I know that Dr. Solis mentioned.
Whichever.
Probably should.
Like start, please.
There you go.
I know.
You break it, you buy it, Doc. That's the way it is.
Logo on it. Thank you all for the opportunity. I have the honor of working with our partnering school districts and EdCouch Elsa. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for your administration, your counselors, your staff that make this possible. Throughout the past over 11 years, within your community, we have saved over $6.5 million for your families, for students that have taken dual credit. This semester alone, you all have over close to 220 students enrolled taking dual credit courses. We are very excited that we have students on track to complete an associate's degree, and as well now, we're highlighting our first cohort with welding. They will be on track to complete a certificate with us as well. This past May, you had 53 graduates who earned an associate's degree with us, and I know working closely with Ms. Gaxa, you all are on track to have even more. So on behalf of our program, thank you for all that you all do, the opportunity to continue to serve your students, and all the support that comes from the district as well. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Carlos Margo. I serve as the Dean for the Center for Advanced Training and Apprenticeships at South Texas College. And through our department, we train over 3,000 students approximately in a variety of different non-credit, short-term, industry-recognized credentialing programs. So it could be anything from OSHA 10, OSHA 30, all the way to advanced robotics. Some of the programs that we're proposing here and we would really see happening here would be in the areas of safety. OSHA 10, OSHA 30, for example, utilizing the facilities there. Definitely certified custom specialist, which is a growing program for us and something that's really been in demand. And another one, in utilizing what we saw last Friday when we visited the middle school, was the gym area. If that could be possibly utilized for a lab area, we could definitely start doing some type of construction technician, construction superintendent training, which we have back in our campus. So that's something with the right infrastructure we could definitely do. And again, the training for construction right now, commercial, residential, is in high demand, and we see this as a potentially big program here as well. And this is non-credit, this is short-term certifications, but we are also a registered apprenticeship sponsor, which means that your students here could also become registered apprentices, even if they're still in high school. If they're 16 years of age, that's a minimum age, they can start working, they can start getting trained at the facilities, and we can just keep going from there. Other programs could be certified production technician, heavy equipment operator training, in partnership with other of our industry partners as well. So I'm here to assist in any way we can. I appreciate the opportunity. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So I'm just going to talk really loud. My name is Olivia de la Rosa, and I'm the Dean of Continuing Education. And so I'm the other non-credit program, the other non-credit department at the college.
Thank you.
I am proposing the programs on the right side of the flyer that Dr. Margo is passing out. And so we can do things like CPR and ESL for free here in the community. We've got grant funding for both of these programs. At these programs, we can get started right away. You tell me when you have a classroom available, we can start. We can also do things like ESL and forklift training that can be grant funded. If a person qualifies, they can get the program paid for free. We also discussed ESL and bus driving, school bus driving, which I think it's been mentioned that you all are in need of school bus drivers. So through the grant that we've got through the Texas Workforce Commission, we could do ESL and school bus driving here at your facility. The other programs that are shown on the flyer, phlebotomy and EKG, those are medical programs that are very popular, and there's always demand for EKG technicians and phlebotomy technicians. Things like real estate agents. Real estate agents are always getting hired everywhere, so we can do that here, and community health worker. Of course, computer skills and just things like cake decorating, floral design, that some people will start a business at home using the skills that they learn in our classes. So the programs that we propose are programs that we feel will benefit your community. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm just going to close up our discussion. As you mentioned, as you heard, we had several presentations, but primarily a brief one. The Center of Advanced Training in Manufacturing. That is one of the great opportunities mentioned by Dr. Margo, and then the one now by Ms. Olivia La Rosa. Then also that is on continuing education. The beauty about these programs, especially continuing education, that there are no requirements. That for many students and citizens can enroll immediately once of course the class is established. So our goal here is to propose these opportunities. I know that there's an MOU that is being developed right now, and I don't know if you have it already, but to be worked with, and of course to also approved by our board and to be finalized. But that is our intent, to come into an agreement so we can be able to start the discussions as soon as possible. So that's it. I'll leave it open for questions.
Well, I have one. Dr. Solis, prior to you coming to STC, EdCal Chelsea and STC had tried, like Mr. Guzman had mentioned, there was legislative action kind of telling STC that they needed to have a presence in the Delta area. And it felt very forced the last time we tried. Mr. Lozano, you were here. It just, we tried and we tried at our old high school. It wasn't really conducive to what we were trying to get going. And I'd hate to admit it, but it did not work out, and it failed, and then STC withdrew back. So I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity once again. These services are needed in our area. I could tell you, City of Elsa, and I could tell you in my conversations with Ed Couch and La Villa, we're working together to bring industry into this area, and we need this partnership. If the Delta area truly is going to supersede whatever, and be at this whole other level, then this is the partnership that needs to happen. I just want to.
And just to enter, because then we have one meeting, so I think it is to see the administration and we are under the understanding that this area has nothing but to go. Everything west of Cordana, everything, I think they're already are willing, so we are doing it. But we understand that, so we can talk with Mayor Rosales, Virgil, and Maria, and of course, city also, and we understand that we need to make it, we need to make the STC have a particular area. So, I mean, those are some of the programs that are being suggested that can get kids started real quick. But if you all have any other ideas or something, by all means, I think most of you have my number. If you don't, I think you know somebody that can get a hold of me. So feel free to reach out, and I'm willing to meet with you. And we just need to get this going.
This is an amazing first step. Thank you so much.
If I can, just real quick, first of all, on my behalf, I'd like to thank STC and thank Mr. Danny Guzman and Dr. Solis for the vision of bringing STC to the Delta area. I know for the last 20 years we've been discussing this, and I know it's 20 years. I checked. It was 20 years ago that we tried to bring them into the Mercado, and then for whatever reason it just didn't pan out. I was one of the dissenting votes closing down that campus, and a lot of my reservation was I had heard this dog and pony show before. I had heard, yeah, we're coming, so you need to make room for us, and it just never happened. You know, and that really was my reservation. But I want to thank you all for having the vision, and thank your staff and your administration for having the vision of the Delta area and having the Delta area at heart. I really think that this improves the quality of life in our community, especially for those community members that cannot get out and because of transportation, cannot leave our area to get a higher education. So I just want to thank you and thank your staff and everyone at SCC for having the vision and coming together with us, and hopefully we can really build upon this momentous occasion. But thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Last but not least, I want to thank the superintendent, Dr. Ochoa, and the staff for their meeting with also the conference.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to add that they've been incredibly gracious with their time with us and the excitement that we all feel. We have the 18 to 26 program, we have the 26 to 50 program. So all of these individuals are coming back at a second chance. And having STC, because one of the things that we're finding is transportation is a big deal in this area, you know? And having this opportunity, not only for EdCal Chelsea, but for the entire Delta area and surrounding communities, is just gonna be a real game changer. So again, thank you for your graciousness, because you all have been here several times, and you know, you're welcome to come back as many times as you want until we can get this completed and get our first cohort in from SEC. So thank you.
I've got a quick question. And obviously I missed it. I'm sorry, I'm late. You asked if we had concerns. Do you have any concerns about the agreement or anything like that going forward right now? Do you guys feel comfortable?
The agreement, the MOU, I know is being developed right now. It has not been finalized. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, hasn't been finalized.
Right. And but then tomorrow we're going to mention it to our board. South Texas called a meeting, and we're going to discuss it very briefly, just in general, that is our intent to go into an agreement with you. Actually, I'm impressed with the facility. To your question, sir, when I was there, I'm so encouraged when I saw that Region 1 is going in there as well, and I spoke with Dr. King this morning, and it was offered that we could even leverage and even use some of their equipment, the welding, that, by the way, we're teaching, the welding, and then some other equipment that they're going to be installing very soon. So we can all leverage this as a partnership. And again, I'm focusing where there's high demand opportunities, demand jobs and pay for the citizens here, not just programs that are out there just for people to get this. Because I'm an economist, and I want to make sure that every citizen that goes through there, that's why you notice I call them citizen, not student, because they become students as soon as they get grow, but they're always a citizen of the EdCouch area, EdCouch Elsa, and we want to make sure that they are gainfully employed. And if they're going to spend a year or 2 years of their life, we want to make sure that it's worthwhile. So I'm very encouraged when I saw what's happening there, and especially your enthusiasm, your support. I know there's going to be some up and downs, it's going to be slow, but there's a few programs that we can start. That's why today we mentioned already a handful. half a dozen programs that can be started immediately. We just need to get the computers lab set up, for instance. The construction management program, that is a huge opportunity, being that there's so much demand. And again, that's open for everybody. It's going to take some cost and it takes some time to set up the labs and construction. But then the heavy equipment also, we're all going to have to put our head together and get the equipment over here. And the truck driver, the CDL one, those we're already doing. And by the way, let me just close very quickly. Your partner, STC, we are a large institution. We're one of the largest, actually we are the largest higher education institution in the county of Hidalgo. Let me make that clear. No one even comes near us, not even the university. We have over 30,000 students in Hidalgo alone. And number two, I want to make sure that you know that you're partnering. We were the #1 ranked community college system, not only in Texas, but in the nation just a couple months ago. We're competing in this ranking with Miami, with Phoenix, with Dallas, with all the big systems. Well, South Texas College for the first time was ranked #1.
Congratulations.
We're very excited about that. So our big focus has been, since I arrived here 4 years ago, in technology, our technology program where the jobs are, the manufacturing, the automotive, and on. And number 2, health. That's what we mentioned about health entry-level programs. We're also the #1 in the health programs. We're the largest nursing producer. When you combine LVN and RN, we're the #1 in the state of Texas, and with the highest NCLEX nursing passing rate. That says a lot about the quality of our. So that's why we might be putting a lot of requirements, because we have to be accredited, and our bar is so high. That's why we got ranked #1, because the way you evaluate the quality, the superiority of a program is by the passing rates of the certificates. That's how, and we like to be at 100%. We're 99% in nursing, but all of the other ones are right there. That is why, for us, it's very important that the students or the citizens that get involved in these programs, that they come out proud and is assured that an STC diploma means a lot. That's why we were looking forward. I think now is the time, under the guidance here of you and of course the assistance of our trustee, Guzman, to get this done. I think now is the time. And I'm looking forward to this partnership.
As are we.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Thank you. Any further questions? I'm going to go ahead and, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to mental health dog support services, simply because it must be rough to have him or her here for such a long period of time.
Yeah. So I just want to give a little bit of an introduction. So this all started with the counselors, and I have 13 rescue dogs, so dogs are our thing in our house. And so I know what they've done personally for my daughter. She has a support service animal. And so we looked, and one of our counselors helped me find an agency. So Living Way Therapy Dogs have now been coming into our campuses. The counselors are scheduling them. They have 6 dogs, and they come and they do therapy with the kids, or they'll just sit there. Kids that have anxiety, kids that are struggling to stay in school, and it's been incredibly successful. But I want to introduce to you our very own Ed Couchelsa, through the graciousness of our counselor, Mr. Gabe Hernandez, who serves our kids with special needs. He actually has a dog that is Jelly Bean, that just got all the required training to be a mental health support dog, and he is currently our intern. So I present to you Jelly Bean. So would you like to tell us something about Jelly Bean, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez, by the way, is a local.
Yes, yes, we know.
Board for inviting me to come up here. Just to jump off what Dr. Ochoa just mentioned, this all started back when I was West, working with her little girl. And when I first met her, I think it was around 7th grade. That's when I met her, and she was very, very, very timid. But all people who know her see the potential, like this there. It needed something to help her get out. And somehow, through the grace of God, she was with Mickey. And I saw all the wonders having that support, animal being that was able to tap into that resource and all the potential that Esau has, still has, and he'll still like, forgive my, I don't know, still kicking butt. You know, she's doing great. She's in college right now, taking some college classes. I never known what like thought it was possible. Parents, us, the educators, we're all doing saw the potential in having a being of that sport. You know, they inspire many people, inspire me with their experience. Why can I provide that joy as well by having support being? And I don't say animal, you know, but and she's great so far. Just like this mentioned, training. I've been allowed to go to some campuses. I've been to a couple campuses already, and the kids are just taking her in. They love having her around.
Us adults too.
Yes, adults too. I was going to say because I had gone to College Career Center, and I've been working with, not working, but visiting some of those, I guess, academy kids or GED kids, and just seeing their expression when she goes to live there, being all excited to see her little kids again. And that's the magic that she brings, the therapy animals here. You know, it's like, you know, it's fun to make sure I show kids, and it's like all the magic, the wonder, because that's all it is. And being able to provide that wonder, I tell them, they're not here to fix our problems, stretching, fix our problems, or help one of the autos, but just having that time with the service community. It gives you a little time, a little escape from what's going on. And when I'm in the classroom with the kids,
Take a picture.
This is Debbie. She's a 4-year-old mini Australian Shepherd. She's 4 years old. She's already turning at 2 years old. And she loves affection. You know, she loves affection. And of course, I do have rules when I tell the kids, like, allow her to smell me first so she gets familiar with you. And then, like, yes, you get pet her, and I said just like pretty much like around the next area, and yeah, she's very got an easy time. It's are excited to like play with her, interact with her. I've been able to go to some unit classes as well. Even then, just being able to like see that wonder. I started with PK, and I've gone all the way to GED, and the kids all respond to it. Like, it's a wonder, magic, and having that moment.
She make them with staff?
Yeah, she will. I can do something right now, so it's all like brought to you, like, he's sitting right now, so Jill, you come. Sit. Touch. Yeah. And she touched everything up. She does, so she can't do some command, but she's very attached to me, but she does love to play with other people as well. But this is everything in a nutshell. I'm so blessed that I have a career thanks to the Board of Trustees and Dr. Trail, where I can share this joy with other students. And it all started because of her little girl, Issa. So I owe her a lot, and I can tell her about joy and such how I was able to help her out so hard. I'm blessed. So thank you once again. Thank you. Yes.
Nice to see you. For the record, Mr. Torres is here. I don't know what time he got here, but he's here.
646.
6:46. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Next item for presentation is the Early Head Start.
Hello, I'm Nima Peña, the Executive Director for the Blount County Head Start Program. And before we get started, I want to say you are, even though we're currently not partnering with you, but I think everything just kind of rocks. As a pet parent, myself and my colleague, we also have rescue, so it just endears. But thank you for allowing us to come and present. I want to thank Dr. Ochoa. She actually reached out to me, and just to give you a little bit of background, the Head Start program has partnered with Cal Chelsea ISD for quite a number of years. And then we took a pause, okay? And Dr. Ochoa contacted me and said, okay, is this something that we could really look at again? And I do want to introduce also Ms. Nora Munoz, our Assistant Program Director. She's here with me today. But, next slide, okay. We want to, when Dr. Ochoa called me, we talked about why is it that we weren't partnering anymore. Well, one of the things is that the Head Start program can offer such an array of services to the districts. Currently, right now, we are partnering with 8 different school districts here in Hidalgo County, but the one thing that we cannot do, because of the new funding source through TEA and the teacher allotments, we can't hire teachers. We can't compete with the school districts, but we're able to provide such wonderful services that districts really need to take advantage of if you can and if you'd like to. So one of the things that we did is we looked at your current model. Next slide, please. Okay. Over at JRG, you are currently operating your early childhood school. You have 20 regular education classrooms, 2 life skill units with a total of 438 enrollment. Your staffing pattern is as is. I think I don't need to go through it because this is your school right now. Okay. But we would like for you to consider this proposal because it is going to save you a lot of money, okay, as a district. So right now, okay, the proposal that we would like for you to consider is your JRG Head Start Academy with potentially 60, maybe more classrooms with 360 enrollment to give you, now in pre-K with Head Start, we can do up to 24 children in a classroom, but in most cases, you do also have school districts that have up to 22 children in a 4-year-old classroom and 20 children in a 3-year-old classroom. You would still need to operate your life skills classrooms, and we are going to recommend that you potentially, if you choose to partner with us, to do 1 or 2 regular pre-K classrooms. And it has to do with the families being able to qualify. Now, in most cases, Dr. Ochoa, and by the way, Ms. Garza also, they were wonderful in providing this information, the majority of your children are going to be able to qualify for these services with Head Start. So your staffing pattern, in this case, you could, and if I may, I'd like to jump to what it is that we can offer. And this is at no cost to the district, and also we don't touch your TEA funding. You draw down 100% for your funding that you currently have. What we can provide for you, can we go back? Thank you. We can provide for you a campus director that is going to be a former principal. We would also provide for you 1 assistant principal, 1 assistant campus director, forgive me. We also provide, and this is the uniqueness, we provide 8 social workers or case managers, 1 social worker for every 2 classrooms. We also provide your 16 assistant teachers, but they have to have a minimum of, these are the the staff that we provide. An associate's degree in early childhood education, and then we also provide 8 disability aid floaters that have a child development associate credential in pre-K. So we would be providing for you 1 assistant teacher for every 1 teacher that you have. And again, the minimum of an associate's degree in early childhood education, but many of our assistant teachers currently right now have a bachelor's degree, but what they don't have is a certification, okay? Our disability aid floaters, this is 1 disability aid floater that would be supporting 1 for every 2 classrooms. This is the 3rd person in the room. They would be able to provide the support for the teacher, the district teacher, when they have to have their planning period, their duty-free lunch, because in Head Start, you always have to have 2 people in the room, 2 professionals in the room. So we would be providing that support for your teachers, but the disability aid floater would also be providing that support for those little ones that may have those challenging behaviors that are not still qualified for the life skills classroom, but they need that additional support. We would also be providing 1 secretary and 3 custodians. So that is a significant amount of people that you would not have to fund. So the staffing pattern that we talked with Dr. Ochoa is that EdCal-CHELSA could potentially provide the principal or an assistant principal. That is optional, your choice. We are already operating this model with Donna ISD and potentially with Mission CISD. You would be providing obviously the teachers. You would be providing at the staffing pattern, the librarian, the PE coach, your PEMS clerk, your ISD police security, 2 custodians and 1 nurse. But let me show you what you could be saving. Next slide. Okay, so your proposed yearly cost savings for EdCal-CHELSA ISD. So currently right now, and this is the salaries that were provided by Ms. Garza. So this is your salary plus your fringes. So currently right now, you could potentially save on a principal or an assistant principal, because we are already providing that additional support for you. Your paraprofessionals currently right now, they're at $21,813. You would be saving $349,007. Your secretary, again, forgive me, your custodian, because we are going to be providing 3 custodians for you, you could save on 1 custodian. And again, this is not you possibly laying off anybody. You could just reassign them to where you need them, okay? But your current salary with fringe is $32,789. Your secretary at $37,444. Librarian, again, optional, but I think this is something that Dr. Ochoa said that she wanted to maintain. Counselors, again, you've got social workers there in that facility. In this facility, we would be providing 8. Okay, and then your total annual savings is $678,869. So in a 5-year savings cost, you're looking at $3,394,345. Now, I do want to tell you this. I was so glad to see Dr. Solis. Him and I have been talking about doing something with STC, and I want to let you know that we recently, in the Head Start world, currently there are 1,600 Head Start programs around the nation. And annually, they have a program of excellence, accreditation, and award that are provided to only 12 Head Start programs nationally. We just received that. And the state of Texas has not had a program of excellence in almost 20 years. So you have it with Hidalgo County Head Start.
Well, congratulations.
But EdCal-CHELSA is such a wonderful district. One of the things that we saw when we visited with this incredible leadership team is their passion to want to really increase the capacity of what's happening in your early Head Start classrooms. JRG has been doing great things. What we want to do is help you take it to the next level. And quite frankly, the cost savings is something that you need to really consider. This is really just a proposal, and if I may, on the last. Okay, so here we are. We're really just reviewing the proposal and conducting an internal data analysis. This is where we are at. We would want for you to consider, and it could be maybe in a workshop or just a discussion with the superintendent and the board. And you would need to, and we're looking at doing this for school year 26-27. Okay. If you want to consider this proposal, we would have you look at providing us a letter of commitment. I do want to let you know that we have had other districts that have reached out to us, but our two boards, we have basically two boards. We have our school board and we have the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court. The Hidalgo County Commissioners Court believes in EdCouch ELSA CISD. So does our board, and they wanted for me, when I advised them about Dr. Ochoa's call, they said, please reach out to them. Let them know what it is that we can offer so we can just do great things. I'll open it up for any questions at this time.
Vilma, when you talked about the certifications for the teacher aides and the other one, where did they attain those certifications?
Okay, they now we are providing this staff for you.
Correct.
Okay, they have an associate's degree in early childhood education. In most cases, they got it from STC. Many of them, because they do have a bachelor's degree and they're the assistant teacher, which is almost comparable to your paraprofessional, but we are required by federal regulation that they have to have a degree in early childhood education. Okay, so they get it from STC. Many of them got their bachelor's degree from UTRGV, okay, and some Texas A&I, Texas A&M, and so forth. Now, the Child Development Associate credential, that is a credential that is specific for paraprofessionals, but in early childhood. So they do have it in pre-K, but they are the third person in the room. The assistant teacher would be supporting your teachers.
Thank you. Any other questions?
At this moment, no.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you to all of you, and again, congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, our superintendent report.
Thank you. So you've heard a lot about the attendance already, so I just want to give you a recap as to where we're at. We are currently still at a difference of 139 students from last year, and then we budgeted for 3,706, and we're shy of that goal currently. We're currently at 3,628 for a difference of 78. As you can see, the issues are at our high school, our academy, our middle school, and then RCR did lose, really what is equivalent to a classroom. We have been meeting on a regular basis with the campus administration. We are having a meeting on Thursday to take a deeper dive into what is it that we're doing in terms of ensuring that the students that we have are coming to school. And then the other thing that has been put into place is when a student withdraws, they're sending me the information immediately, and then I am reaching out to the parents, not necessarily to change their mind, but to find out why it is that they're moving, and if it's something that has to do with issues at the school, then the goal is to resolve it, and then hopefully they'll decide to stay in the district. Any questions on the attendance?
Next item is first 6 weeks exam.
Okay, so this one, please bear with me. In
in line with Lone Star Governance and my commitment to transparency, I am presenting to you the first 6 weeks' performance for the district. So the first slide is our third grade reading first 6 weeks assessment. And you're going to see that you have the passing rate for the district, and then you have the A through F accountability. So I'm glad to report, as you can see a lot of that green, it's 85% of the students that pass at the 70% standard or above, and we did have 15% that were below. So when you look at the colors, you know, the familiarity with the colors, the master's meets approaches, and of course it did not meet. The one thing here that is very unique is that 3% did not meet, but we did have 97% at the approaches level. So a significant increase. Now, before I continue, I do want to be incredibly transparent that the tests come from Bluebonnet, which is the curriculum that was just adopted. So it's an apples to apples in the sense that it does challenge the rigor that you would see in the STAR assessment, but the amount of questions is different. So having said that, so for example, the STAR test has 41 questions when the students take it. The Bluebonnet curriculum and assessment that they provide, that we need to follow as part of the adoption, had 20 questions. So that's pretty significant. So of course, we're looking into, do we have false positives here? But it's still very encouraging that we're coming out with these numbers. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware of that it's not the same amount of questions, but the type of question does mirror what you would see in the STAR assessment release test. So for fourth grade, as you can see, we didn't fare very well. 87% of our students did not meet at the 70% passing standard. But however, if you look at the A through F accountability, it brings it to 34% that were below the criteria. So if you notice, we have it at 70% passing standard because this is used as a 6 weeks exam and it's used for a grade. But here, if you look at the 34%, it would be considered that did not meet because it would be considered at below 42% because these are the actual STAR scores that you would have to get to.
Doc, real quick.
Yes.
On this particular cohort, right, this fourth grade reading, have we checked if there's been any improvement from last year to this year? Or, I mean, is there any way to check that? Just because I know,
yes.
I know this particular cohort has been a challenge
yes.
since.
Yes, and there has been, and that's why I'm saying that I'm optimistic with the A through F, even though, again, it's a Bluebonnet curriculum, but the rigor of the exam is there.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I want to make sure.
For fifth grade, again, you're going to see that 76% were below the 70% passing standard, but if you look at the A through F accountability, it was 53% that were below the 42% that was required to get to the meets, but we did have more of the approaches, meets, and even some masters. At the sixth grade, again, you're going to see the 73% that did not meet, 27% got to masters. So that is like that is a very unique variable there. And that's why with this one, it was like, let's look at the actual test. Let's look at the actual rigor of the questions. Because of that anomaly, you go from all of these not passing, and then you do have some significant amount of masters and nothing really in between. Now here, the anomaly, I can tell you what it was, is that particular test out of Bluebonnet, if you were taking the STAR test today, it would be 45 questions. Here, for the Bluebonnet, for the type of rigor for that module, it only had 11 questions.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference. So right away, it's like, let's look at the test. And so that can account for that major variable. For the 8th grade, 90% did not meet the passing standard, but in the 8 through F, it was only 26%. Here again, it was 22 questions in comparison to the 45 that you would see at STAR. For ninth grade, we've got some work to do. In the ninth grade, 91% did not get to the passing standard for English 1. And through the A through F accountability, you can see more of the approaches and the meets. For 10th grade, that's pretty balanced, 57 and 43% for the 70% standard. And then you can see 81% in the approaches. Again, this test, it was 18 out of the assessment, but 52 for the actual STAR test. So again, a pretty significant difference. But these are the tests that that are coming with the curriculum, so we're having to follow that.
Could we have maybe, and it can be done just a simple email to the group, maybe a breakdown of the fail. You know, we're saying that they failed to the 70%. You know, are they borderline? You know, they failed completely where they're...
Yeah, no, they were pretty close to crossing into the,
That's what I'd like to see.
into the approaches.
How close were we
Yeah.
to actually increasing that amount?
And that information was provided to the principals. The principals then turned around and had the individual meetings with their teachers. But yes, I can definitely provide that for you.
And it can be just in the form of an email to the
Yeah,
group.
of course. So then for math, because those are the ones that we're looking at, for third grade math, again, you can see the colors of the red, 62% for the passing standard, but yet 81% in the approaches. For the fourth grade, you almost have it split for the 54 and 46 in the green, and then 84% again in the approaches. For fifth grade, again, pretty much evenly split, and the same type of diagram that you see in the A through F accountability. For sixth grade, you're starting to see the patterns, right? That they're very closely aligned with the reading. 67% did not meet, and then the 33% that were at the master's level, whereas we had 65% at the approaches. Seventh grade, 79% did not meet the passing standard, 21 were at the masters, and then we had 57 at the approaches. And the reason I'm emphasizing the approaches is because that's the one, we need to get to the meets and masters. The approaches is the one that gives us the least amount of points, but that's what's showing us that they're close to getting to the meets. For the eighth grade, it was 61% that mastered the exam, and 39% did not pass, and we had 92% that were at the approaches level. And we're almost done. For Algebra 1, 82% were at the masters and 18% didn't meet. This is for the eighth grade, that one class that we have of the students. 100% were at the approaches level. And by the way, the reason that you see, if you're wondering why is it 100% and 100%, because anyone that is, you look at your approaches and you count them regardless, because they might be like approaches, some of them might be at meets, so you're never going to get 100%. So you might see twice the numbers, because they might be in the meets, and you're automatically going to count them in the approaches. Then for algebra at the high school, do you have a question? No. Oh, okay. 88% did not meet. However, you did have 59% at the A through F that was at the approaches level. For our science, 88% did not meet, but in the approaches level, we had 56% on A through F accountability. For our science, we had 79% that did not meet, but we had 75% that would have been through A through F accountability that would have been in the approaches. Now this one's a little closer because the STAR has 35 questions. This exam had 25 questions. Biology, it was 69% that did not meet. However, there was 93% that would have been at the approaches level if this was a STAR test. The history, 75% did not meet, but 25% would have been at the master's level, and 76, if it would have been A through F, would have been at the approaches level. U.S. history, which is our last one, it was literally 50% that didn't pass, and the other that got to the mastery level, and we had 89% that were at the approaches. Now, this is another one that's pretty an anomaly. You have 64 questions that are part of the actual assessment, but this assessment only had 15 questions. And again, following the curriculum that is provided by the state. Any questions?
What grade was this, Dr. Sandy?
The U.S. history, the high school.
Any other questions?
Well, what's both, I mean, encouraging and also challenging is seeing those math percentages of masters. I said it's encouraging because there were some decent master numbers, but challenging because we're gonna have to keep them there. So, but I don't know, it's got some work to do, but we knew that, so we'll be okay.
The thing about Bluebonnet too that I want to add is that they do have it embedded to have those weekly assessments. So even though at the 6 week is shorter questions, they're being assessed throughout.
It's good. Well, thank you, principals, for your hard work. Appreciate it. Thank you, Doctor.
Next item on the agenda are consent agenda items. If any board member would like to pull an agenda item, now would be the time.
I have,
Oh, did I skip one?
No, we just need to pull.
C1. Dr. Cho informed me that we're pulling consent agenda item C1.
There's gonna be no action or for discussion? No action?
Region 1 didn't have it ready,
Oh.
so they wanted to make some revisions.
Okay.
And Mr. Castillo, you also mentioned that the STC MOU is also being worked on, correct?
Yes,
Should we
sir.
pull that one as well?
Well, we could pull it. I would ask that we approve it just subject to legal review and final negotiations by the superintendent.
which item, which agenda item is that one?
C2.
C2.
Which item did you want to pull?
It was two of them. I have B, 7B5.
75.
Okay, go ahead.
I had a question for Ms. Sylvia. I'm looking at the monthly budget report. And our original budget, we're operating at a negative 2.9 million. And we have an amended budget that is negative 3.2 million. So I had a general question. And basically I'm curious as to what's causing that number to go up. Is there a specific type of expenditures that cause that number to grow?
Yes, ma'am. From our last meeting, I believe, actually it was a September meeting where we had our HB2 salaries that came in. We also had some adjustments that were also approved for that budget amendment. And so that's what caused the deficit to go outside.
So it's mainly just the HB2 salaries?
Yes.
Anything else?
At that meeting, it was mainly just any payroll adjustments and things like that were pertaining to increases.
Is that number expected to change?
This number is for the moment, it is 3.2 unless we have other changes. We do have a budget amendment in place for this meeting simply because there will be a presentation on the purchase of the buses, and I went ahead and included that one first payment in there within the budget amendment, and also we have an AC unit that needs to be purchased at JRG, so I also
I saw
included
that. Okay, thank you.
And 7?
I had one more, and it was in reference to the class size waiver.
Is that E2?
Yes.
I can speak to that one.
Okay, so we've got 4 classes that need waivers, and
We have 5.
5?
Yes, we have.
Oh, yes, one at Santiago. Is this a one-time thing?
So this is the way the waivers work. So currently, this classrooms is over by one student. We have 4 classrooms at our early childhood, that's 23, and then we have one bilingual classroom at Santiago Garcia, that's 23. So TA requires that we apply for this waiver before November 1st because we are over the 22. And just a little bit of background information, back in September, we looked at our classes, we looked at the sizes of our classrooms along with the teachers, and we did have a teacher from Santiago Garcia reassigned to early childhood, and we had another teacher reassigned to John F. Kennedy to help us with the numbers. We showed the numbers that were higher at those 2 campuses. So in looking at our numbers, as we were getting closer to the November 1st deadline, of course, we're monitoring our attendance and we're seeing that these classrooms are over, so the waiver is required. So if another student comes in and enrolls, let's say, at early childhood, then that student should be placed in a classroom that has 22 students. And then if TA approves this waiver, which normally they do, so then we would go back into the system and input the name of the teacher, and let's say they go from 22 to 23, we would input 23. And then also just to share a little bit of background data, so we currently have at the 5 classrooms that are over. Last year we did have 9 classrooms that were over, and those classrooms ranged from 23 to 25 students. And in the previous year, we had 6 classrooms that were over that ranged from 23 to 24 students. So applying for a waiver has been common in our district for the past couple of years. That's what I saw in our facility.
Thank you.
And I do want to add there that the one thing is, you heard me make a comment earlier about enrollment, and I said, you know, in some cases it's an entire classroom. However, we have to look at their certification. That's the first thing that we need to look at is certification, but then more importantly, look at how far we are in. Kids have become used to the teachers. With it being 1 student at this juncture, you know, we'd rather just apply for the waiver because it's going to be difficult to find someone that actually has the credentials that is a right fit at this juncture. So we'll see what December looks like, but
Hopefully you'll see an increase in enrollment. All right, so before we vote on consent agenda, we're pulling C1 completely, and C2 is subject to legal review.
Yes, sir, and final negotiation.
And final negotiation.
I'd like to make a motion to approve all consent agenda items as discussed and item C2 pending legal review and approval.
A second.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Ms. Tanguma. All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Discussion and action items. A, discussion and action to approve the turnaround plan for JFK Fine Arts Academy. Ms. Montelongo?
Yes, this evening we bring to you our John F. Kennedy turnaround plan. So what is the turnaround plan? So because our campus is identified in need of improvement, together with the support of the school improvement team from Region 1, we've outlined and identified the goals for this school year along with strategies in attaining those goals. A requirement of the plan is that it is presented to our stakeholders, which of course is our parents and our community. This is something that our current principal lead did back on October 10th. Data was collected. She created a QR code in which after she presented the goals and the strategies, we were able to receive some parent input. And then, of course, there's a requirement that we present our goals and our strategies and how we will attain or plan on attaining our goals to your school board members. And then we will be submitting this to TPA. So I'm going to turn it over to our principal lead so she can share the goals here.
Hi, good evening. So, like Ms. Oliva said, back on October 10th, I did present to the two parents. I actually got a lot of parents at the time because we were having our work study, and I believe I presented to over 100 parents, maybe. And they did receive the information about our turnaround plan. So, in our turnaround plan, our goal is to have our students increase in their meets in ELAR, which is our reading, to a 45%. We also have a goal of attaining a 38% passing and meet or above in math. And then for our academic growth points, we want to go from 7 to 14 points. And then growth status from 9 to 17 points. And our other status from 0 to 3 points. And our success status from 2 to 6 points. And that will get us to a B rating, 83. And then for our turnaround plan strategies, we are partnering with, our first one is our Texas partnership with SB 1882. They are providing academic support and professional development, our PLCs, assessments and data analysis, progress monitoring. For example, throughout the year, we are now doing fluency checks with our K through 3rd grade. We also have mid and end module and unit assessment data checks, as well as our PLCs. We are having discussions about, and for 3rd through 5th grade, discussions regarding what we can do to improve test scores in reading, especially. So like last week I presented on note-taking strategies and testing strategies. And we're doing it collectively, even for our math and our reading teachers, just so we're all on the same page and that they know how to support each other. And then for us, we also have a partnership with Strong Foundations Implementation, which we now have a group on HQIM. Through Strong Foundations, we are receiving professional development, such as today we had development in internalization. We also have curriculum implementation. We have product advisors coming in to do walkthroughs at our campuses, and they're providing information on how to give coaching cycles and provide feedback to teachers, and we're identifying ways to improve their teaching. I also have to report that our teachers are using our HRIM with 100% fidelity. We are doing our best to make sure that HRIM is being taught as it's supposed to be. And then we also have our Texas Instructional Leadership, where we have professional development with our leadership team. So last month we met with, I forgot the name, I'm sorry. But we did have a presentation where we created a school-wide or district-wide plan where we have a school-wide instructional routine where everybody writes. So starting in kindergarten, we are all using language where students are providing feedback at, like they're speaking in complete sentences back to us, because it's happening is when they're getting to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, they're asking them to write DCRs and SCRs, and the students are still kind of like, they're not completing their ideas. So when we start from kindergarten and up, and with the way they respond to teachers, then the goal is to respond better when they get to 3rd grade. And then last year with the Texas Instructional Leadership, we also had the observation feedback coaching cycle, where we taught us how to provide feedback to teachers and identify coaching cycles. Any questions?
Any questions? Good job, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the turnaround plan for John F. Kennedy Fine Arts.
Second.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Torres. All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion carries. Next item is discussion and possible action to approve a finance contract resolution for the purpose of leasing buses for the 2025-2026 school year. Ms. Garza.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Again, my name is Juan Garcia. I'm a transportation consultant with Region 1. I come before you seeking approval of some school buses. This purchase of the school buses will be done through a lease purchase agreement. We're requesting approval for 2 regular 77-passenger buses, 1 special need buses with capabilities of 3 wheelchairs, and 1 conventional activity bus. The conventional activity bus is different from the transit buses that you have purchased in the past. I did contact 3 main manufacturers of school buses. At this time, they are having trouble obtaining the 64-passenger chassis or the transit chassis to make those buses. So recommending that conventional buses, we can go to the next slide, please. Conventional bus, basically, the bus that has the engine in front, not in the rear, and they're not flat nose. The quotes that we obtained from the three main manufacturers are as seen on the screen. International, $149,976 for the regular buses, and $148,817 for special need bus, and so forth. We have Bluebird with $147,328 on the regular buses, and $147,880 on the special needs. Thomas was the highest at $161,500, and on the special needs, $152,200. The reason that you see interest rates right there on the side is that we, by going to lease purchase agreement, they would go through a third company or a third-party company to finance the school buses. International was the one that had the better rate, but after speaking with Ms. Garza and I think Dr. Ochoa have reached out to a local institution that has a better rate than what's on the screen. So I did meet with our transportation staff, our shop staff, and even though International is slightly higher, they do recommend, and I'm here to recommend the board to consider purchasing the International buses. They feel that the warranty part of it, they feel confident that they can get that service a lot better. Availability of parts, availability of parts that they can have in stock, since the majority, 100% of the fleet is International. So,
Mr. Garcia, are we, so it's a lease purchase option, or are we leasing, or are we straight out purchasing?
the lease purchase part is basically you're getting the buses, and you're gonna be paying per year until the 3 years are up, or 5 years, whatever option.
And then we
is.
have an option to purchase after those 3 years, or?
No, they're, basically you're purchasing and you're paying a yearly payment until they're fully transferred of ownership.
And the reason I say this is because what is the lifespan of that bus right there?
It all depends. Recommendation that or basically the rule of thumb that I follow is about 13 years. With the miles that I've seen for this district, I can probably say up to 14 years. So I hope that answered your question.
Is that an outright purchase, or is it a lease agreement in which after 3 years we have to return the buses?
They call it a lease purchase, but it is, you're getting the buses, you're going to be paying annually for 3 years or 5 years, and at that point they transfer the ownership, the title of that vehicle to the school district.
So
like
basically buying.
You're
basically getting financed.
You're recommending the International at $149,976 for the regular, and then the special ed is $148. Now that's for one bus?
Per bus.
Per bus. So
What's our annual payment, Sylvia?
149 times 2, and then 148. So it's about 450.
And this is a annual payment?
3 years. So basically 149. You're basically you're getting the buses up front, even though you're paying like if you were buying them one.
When is this payment due?
It will be due, I believe, as soon as we decide if we want to purchase them, we will send all the documentation in, and we will have to wait until they actually deliver the buses, and we will have our first annual payment, most likely by the summer.
Can we do biannual? Is that an option for us?
Yes, and that's something that.
Even though you buy a couple of months on it, but it doesn't hit you so hard, especially because you're buying with all these buses, right?
You can work the agreement because you're going to go with the local. Are you going with the local institute?
Yes, sir. Also in your packet was a little proposal summary that I submitted. And we had an international bank that came in with a proposal of 4.25%. Which is lower than the rate that was there. So our recommendation is to go with international bank.
Well, they probably will work with them.
5.2.
We put in the resolution, no prepaid penalties. So, yeah, well, you could definitely do that.
I would say we negotiate on the biannual, just because it doesn't hit us as hard.
Yeah.
That one-time payment is rough. Especially, and what month did you say payment was gonna be due?
As soon as they deliver, most likely it will be, somewhere in 15 months.
Well, all the buses that we got quotes for are already in stock, or they're at the last leg of them getting completed or manufactured. So I got an estimate time about in the next 3 to 4 months.
Mr. Garcia, on the activity bus, is it gonna look any different, or?
When we go to the next slide,
All right.
Because we get our money for.
Oh, there you go, okay. It's like the one that Wesco has.
It makes sense. for us to
conventional
get that
bus,
payment.
no. Well, maybe the new ones. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
the
I'm-
2 new ones?
In my mind, I saw 2 of the used buses that they purchased that have those big old windows. They do meet the Texas school bus specifications.
What makes the activity bus different from the other buses?
They do not have the loading lights, they don't have the stop arm, they have the captain seats. They are equipped with a little bit more comfort, leg room, instead of the passenger capacity would be 42 passengers.
So you're
How many
recommending,
passengers?
42.
42.
you're recommending we buy how many buses again? I'm sorry, it's 3 buses?
2
Regs?
regular 77 yellow buses, 1 special need 54 passenger 3-berth jet accessible bus, and consideration of purchase of 1 activity bus to start replacing what is here already.
What happens to our old fleet? Do they take that as traded?
No, sir, with the old fleet that's getting taken off at the next auction, those
Oh,
items
surplus.
can be auctioned off.
Quick question, we went off a purchasing co-op, right, for your quotes?
Yes, these vendors are part of the Bible. And for this particular activity bus, International was the only one that provided a quote. The other 2 vendors, they were approached, they have not produced a quote. So with that, I do recommend, based also with talking to our shop staff, they do have a good track history with International.
Just to be clear, the activity bus though, is that like our replacement of our La Máquina bus?
Not as big, right?
Not as big.
No,
Not
but
as big.
what we found too, just, I mean, as a parent, what I've noticed is that a lot of times those activity buses, when smaller groups need them, say the volleyball team, say the basketball team, say the smaller groups need them, it's really not conducive to have that big old bus. So that's why I was wondering if they were not like the ones that Wesco purchased, a smaller one. Just because we've got some UIL teams also that are smaller groups that travel, but I just want to make sure that we're considering all our students, not just buying an activity bus for our football team, because that's one thing that I want to make clear. If we're going to buy an activity bus, I'd like for every student to be able to use it. So.
If the board does recommend or does approve the recommendation, what I gather is that they will be used for all sports, band, whatever group that needs to go somewhere that they're able to get the 42 passengers in there, they can use that bus.
Now, speaking of our activity buses, and I'm sorry, I don't want to go on it, but have they been repaired? Are they running? Are they not running? Because it's also not, I mean.
It's common knowledge that they don't get
No,
past the
I know,
checkpoint.
they don't get past the checkpoint, but that's kind of, I'm trying to.
2 of your older activity buses are not being used, and just the amount of money that they have been pumping into them at this point decided not.
It doesn't make any fiscal sense to continue.
Correct.
So can we surplus them out and possibly come back to us with another quote for some more activity buses?
That would be the next thing to do.
Or understand, okay, when you say they're not functional, I mean, what is the difference between that and any other bus? Why is it that bus requires more money to actually get repaired? What is the actual problem with it?
The actual problem is that rear engine. They've been having a lot of issues with positioning of the engine. and it's doing or tearing the belt. So it gets out on the road, you put a brand new belt on it, get on the road, travel X amount of miles, that belt gets torn. So they get stranded on the side of the road. So
Were they purchased new or
Yeah, they were brand new.
they were all new.
But I guess my question is, have we reached out to the manufacturer, because are we the only bus owners in the state of Texas that have activity buses that bust belts every time they go out?
That is not so, sir. I have experience with those Type D buses, and that is something that is common on those engines.
I'm a little bit surprised, truthfully, only because I deal with manufacturing OEMs all the time, and
So let's say La Máquina 1, right? What is the mileage on that one? I'm just curious.
I do not have.
Más o
that-
menos on the two older, what do you think they are? 300,000-400,000?
well, I don't
No.
think they're, no, we're not near
That's what I'm
that.
saying, right? You got a big old
Not-
diesel
not-
engine, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Not even,
and-
not close to that, sir.
Have we taken it into an actual repair shop
I'm
that
sure
deals
it's
with?
gone to several.
They,
But I mean, locals, I mean, I
they've
guess,
taken them to the actual dealers, manufacturers to look into that and work on it. The information that I've been getting is that is common things that do happen on those buses. So
I guess you're losing me when you say common. There would have to be some type of recall, some type of manufacturing order out there saying that these vehicles do not work after a certain amount of miles. I mean, there's got to be something else.
when I say common is that I have experienced that same situation on
This
those
type
type
of-
of buses. I mean, I've driven them, I looked at, I do the pre-trip inspection, that belt looks good to go, and I pulled it out, and I can't remember how many miles I traveled in it.
Is there any way of retrofitting those with a new engine, new type of engine out there?
I do not want to give you an answer because I'm not sure.
Okay.
But at this point, what I do know is the engines that they do have do meet the EPA emissions.
No, and I understand that part, but would it be cheaper to buy, I mean, tractor trailers go out all the time, they put a new engine in it, and it's a new life. There's got to be some type of...
Because the chassis is good, right?
Yes,
That's what we're saying.
I mean, we're basically saying here, any vehicle out there that has a bad engine, you replace the engine, it's a brand new vehicle practically. So my question is, could we look at the option of replacing the engine? I think Mr. Gonzalez had a question here that he wanted to...
I can share a little bit about the push that you all are making because the business that I've dealt with, it's diesel, right? Starter. What brand are they? Who's the maker? International, Caterpillar?
Cummins?
Well, let's bring it back.
Yeah, let's
We're gonna be here all night. So,
There's a lot of questions you need to ask them.
Yeah. I think we're not done
Well,
with those buses.
I mean,
but there is a need.
But is there any way, Doc, we can have them study this, like study those two buses, let's see what we can do, what's more feasible, whether we could repair them, whether
Well,
not.
I think Mr. Garcia would be the man.
I think, Mr. Garcia, if you can help us out with that.
I can definitely look into that and get you some information.
Because it's not fair to our kids either that we haven't been able to use them, you know, I mean,
So-
I know they were real proud when they show up in those buses and they haven't been able to use them.
Are we wrapping this one?
The price does not include the wrap, but yes, that would be the.
Okay.
What about some neon lights in the bottom? and stuff?
Maybe for the next meeting, we can have a breakdown as to those buses.
Old school, spinner
cost, the cost to
Yeah,
replace the motors.
exactly, yeah.
See if that's even feasible, Mr. Garcia.
I can certainly look into it, sir. Since I came in, I think it was mid-August, those buses have not been used. And that is the information that I've gotten from the staff.
What makes are those buses, if I ask? What makes the models or
If I'm not mistaken, they are international.
international? Okay.
Need a motion?
For this item, I can make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Torres. All in favor?
Aye.
All's against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
I don't think so. I just,
I will call them.
So it is, let me see. Superintendent requests that the Board of Trustees convene in a closed meeting as authorized by the provisions of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. This executive session is in accordance with the Texas Government Code, Section 551-074, for the purpose of discussing personnel, considering appointment, employment, resignation, retirement, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. B, consultation with legal regarding pending or contemplated litigation, settlement, matters in which the duty of the attorney of Edcouch Joseph School District under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional. It is 8:05, we're in executive. And we are now in open. Before we get going with the items that were discussed in executive, if we could have a moment of silence for Mr. Claudio Ruiz, longtime employee of EdCal Chelsea, dear friend of mine, dear friend of a lot of our fellow board members. If we could just have a moment of silence. He passed a little earlier this evening. Thank you.
Pensaba que era la band practicing.
Right? Pigskin's coming.
I was like, I'm ready in the hallway or something. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so item 8. Which one? A. What do you want me to say? Okay, just A, just as discussed. Well, I was gonna read my whole little thing, and you threw me off. Okay. Item A, 551-074, discussion and action regarding personnel considering appointment, employment, resignation, retirement, evaluation, reassignment of duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer.
Motion to approve as presented in executive.
Second, sorry.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Torres. All's in favor? All's against? Motion carries. Next item is discussion and action. No action. Next item is adjournment.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Dr. Ochoa. All's in favor? All's against? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.